y'all, coming to you from my home office today, and we are briefly just going to talk about what conveys when you buy a home or what you need to consider what you would like to convey when you're selling a home. So if you're in this general area, Metro Richmond area, we are part of the CVR MLS, and we have a standard purchasing agreement that most realtors will use when you're buying a house. Written into this purchase agreement are certain things that will come with the sale of your home unless noted somewhere else in the contract. So I have my fun little cheat sheet here that I normally go over with buyers as we start looking at houses just to give them an idea. Most people have a general understanding that you're buying the house, you're not buying the furniture. But there's a couple things that fall on the line that can sometimes be hard to decipher whether those will come with the house when you purchase it or not. So things that are written into the agreement already that unless otherwise noted will convey with the home are items such as plantation shutters, blinds, curtain rods, not the actual curtains, light fixtures, the mailbox, anything essentially built into the house. So most appliances are considered built in, like a microwave that's built into the cabinets that would convey. Kitchen refrigerator does not always convey. That would need to be written into the contract if you would like it to come with the house. Other things like screen doors, things that have been added on and can kind of be on the line are things that you'll have to clarify with your realtor. We have seen a couple people take or argue over a couple funny things lately, so I'm going to also show you a list of the most argued about items in a home that people argue about whether it's included or not. Before that, I just want to explain how you can write in that something be included, or if you're selling a home, write in something that can be excluded. Now, what's important to note here is that even if, let's say you're selling a home and you bought a really nice chandelier for your dining room that you do not want to convey when the next family moves in. What would probably be your best bet would be to take it down and just get it out of the room before you get your listing photos taken, before the house is even on the market. Some people don't want to do that. All you would do is buy a replacement light and put that up, which you would do anyway. So that's option number one. You just take it down. The people never knew it was there. You don't have to argue about it or worry that you missed that when you were signing the contract. The other option would be to leave it up and write on to the listing in the MLS that the dining room chandelier will not convey. Where this gets a little bit tricky is that the buyers are writing the offer to you for you to read and sign. So if you're getting multiple offers like we are now, sometimes these little details fall through the cracks, and you want to make sure that you have a really, really detail-oriented realtor that's paying attention to this, or it's something in the back of your mind if you left it up and don't want it to come in. Because even if it's listed in your listing on the MLS that it does not convey, if that's not written into the contract, it's not made and agreed upon by both parties. So it would need to be one in the listing, give them a heads up, that chandelier will not come with the house, but also it needs to be written into your purchase agreement that the dining room chandelier does not convey. Typically there's a section in the purchase agreement where you could write, all parties agree that the dining room chandelier will not convey. Then you could just purchase one to hang up as a replacement, or if the buyers are okay, just close the electrical and they'll put one in when they come. So you would just cap it in, like for the intermediate, and then they could put one in when they come if you agree on that. Otherwise you would need to buy one, hang it up for them so that when they move in there's some sort of replacement there. Now to the funnier portion of the things that are most argued about in purchase agreements when people are buying and selling a home. Not surprisingly, number one comes at wine refrigerators or kegerators. People love their wine and beer. So this is something, depending on how it is built into the home, it might not convey. If you are buying a house with a bar area and you're not sure if it's just a plug-in wine refrigerator or kegerator or if it's built in, you should clarify that when you're buying the house. Most realtors will walk through the home with you and make notes of things as you go through just to be safe. It never hurts to put all those details into the purchase agreement to make sure all parties are on the same page. We also have a lot of people argue about the curtains. So in the MLS agreement, it says curtain and drapery rods. And we talk about this all the time, but there is no comma after curtain. So that means they are just referring to the actual rod that is affixed to the wall that will convey with the house. The curtains themselves, you would need to write that into the purchase agreement if that's something that you really wanted to buy with the house. The next things are refrigerators. Whether it's your kitchen refrigerator or your garage refrigerator, you should specify both. Whether you're selling the house or you're the one buying it, clarify what refrigerator you're talking about if you write it into the agreement. If you expect both to come with the house, you need to know that. We've had so many people argue over garage refrigerators, which I know you can get them for like $100 on Craigslist, but it's one last thing you don't want to have to do. So if you're hoping that you have the garage refrigerator, make sure you write in kitchen and garage refrigerators into your MLS agreement. Next things have to do with things that are outside of the home. So this is going to be like a shed. We have funny stories about this, but some sheds that are not actually like built in, we have actually had people pull them out of the yard and take them with them. So just clarify some of these things. Clarify with both parties so that you're on the same page. The last few things that we're talking about are things that might look like they're affixed to the house but are hard to tell. So some of these would include like a bathroom mirror. Some mirrors are actually stuck to the wall, very hard to get down, would be considered part of the home. Other mirrors are merely hung on a nail and they have been removed and taken with them. If there are mirrors that you want to come with the house, make sure you write in which bathroom, which mirrors. When you walk through the house, you can check on some of these things to see whether they're affixed or not, but it doesn't hurt to write them in. Just be redundant, but make sure that you're all on the same page. Porch swings are another thing. We just had friends buy a house. They thought they would get the porch swing. It was affixed to the ceiling, but the people who moved out just unhooked the top hooks and took it with them. So if you are expecting to have the porch swing, write in that will convey with the house in your purchase agreement so that there are no surprises. Just for a little cheat sheet here, I will put up on the screen all the things that are currently written into the CVR MLS purchase agreement for what is included when you purchase your home, unless noted otherwise in the purchase agreement, just to give you an idea. We also have lots of cheat sheets to help you go over this. You can always ask your realtor when you're buying a house, when you're selling a house. This is something we go over in great detail to make sure that nothing gets missed. We're always keeping an eye out that the things you want to convey are actually conveying, and the things that you do not want to convey are either being removed from the property before you do listing photos and before the house hits the market, or that we're getting replacements and making sure that it's written into the purchase agreement. So I'll put that up here. If you have any other questions, let me know. If I have any other fun stories that come up about people stealing things from their old house that they weren't supposed to, I will of course share those. So in the meantime, have a great week. I'll see you all next time. The last thing I forgot to mention is that I put together a quick little PDF all about my top tips on how to get your offer accepted. It's called the Accepted Offer Checklist, and I will leave the link for that below this video. It's just a bunch of tips on things to consider if you are looking into buying a house anytime soon, or even into next year, early next year and into the spring. As many of you know, this is kind of a seller's market. We're seeing lots of multiple offer situations, and we need to be really strategic about how you're writing an offer on the homes that you see. So if you have any questions and want to check that out, I will leave the link for you there, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Totally forgot to tell you that I have lost my mind.